they're just like a regular home, but they're a lot less expensive to build.
It's a faster turnaround time on top of that. It takes them about 60 days to build a home in the factory. There's not wasted cost on construction materials. You don't have to worry about the theft. Everything's done. The house drive's done. All you got to do is get it set up and it's complete.
You're making how much? Maybe I better think about it. 20% is pretty good in 6 months.
A lot of people don't get into manufactured homes because it's got a bad stigma.
Why?
Manufactured homes because they used to be trailers. And now if you look at these manufactured homes, you take a tour of our factories, you'll be blown away.
So what are the main lessons that you wish you knew before you started?
Oh, man.
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs today in the studio, folks. I got a real treat. Pay attention, get a pad and a piece of paper because we're going to be talking about how you make some extra dough and maybe even a lot of dough because we got Eric Granillo in the house. What's up, Eric?
Oh, not much, Brad. How's it going?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be you.
Oh,
folks, if you guys don't know Eric, man, that's because he's not out on social media trying to get known. He's making money. He's the vice mayor of Chino Valley, Arizona, and a multi-business owner revolutionizing the manufactured home industry. I mean, runs Best Buy Manufactured Homes, Granillo's Mobile Home Service, CM Wireless and Electronics, etc. So you're an entrepreneur at heart, building a family empire with your wife, Adriana, 3 kids, and his parents, all working in the business together, 40 plus years of family experience in manufactured homes, currently on a mission to partner with entrepreneurs nationwide to scale affordable housing solutions while creating generational wealth, which is what kind of interested me because affordable housing, we're going to need more and more and more of it. And manufactured homes, when you properly, I guess, install them, if you will, they look and they're just like a regular home, but they're a lot less expensive to build because you can buy one, put it in there. I don't know what you call it, but make it look like it's just a home.
Correct.
And provide an affordable house, but still make 100, 200 grand a flip or a instance.
Yeah. So we put on the foundation is what it's called. So we do it from the ground up. Our business model, find the land, get the deal going, put it on a permanent foundation. We're the dealer, we're the setup company, and our real estate agents flip them for us. And it's been a great business model we've been doing it for about 13 years.
So let's say is there any problem finding the land or do you have rules?
Land's a problem. Yeah. There's issues where there's places where you can't put manufactured homes in, but most of the country's large. There's a lot of land left in the United States. Certain areas, like in Nevada and Arizona, there's zoning rules, but they're allowing more manufactured homes and ADU homes also.
What's that?
ADU homes is a accessory dwelling unit. You can add in a small little, like a single wide home to a regular home. So Arizona just passed a bill that will allow you to put a ADU home next to a stick-built home for a mother-in-law quarters. So you can make,
or rentable.
You're not supposed to rent it out, but you can. A lot of people are going to rent it out, but it's supposed to be called a mother-in-law quarters. But it's a big business right now in Arizona.
Well, yeah, because dude, like a home flipper, they're out buying a home, flipping the home, selling the home. Well, you can do that as well, but when you see a empty lot, for example, a lot of times those lots aren't that expensive, and then you just go buy a manufactured home, put it on the foundation, and make it look like a regular home, and sell it for much less than an actual home in the neighborhood, and you can't even tell.
Correct. Yeah.
So why don't more people do that?
Manufactured homes had a bad stigma, but like you said, I've flipped regular homes before, and there's so many issues on them. You don't know what you're going to get, especially if you don't do your proper inspection. But on a manufactured home, this thing's going to be brand new from the ground up. So when you like you said, you buy land, you put it on there, you put on a permanent foundation, you'll fix it, you turn around to sell it. A lot of people don't do that. Don't get into manufactured homes because it's got a bad stigma. Why? Manufactured homes because they used to be trailers. They used to be ugly shag carpet, 2x2 construction. They used to be, metal paneling on the side, cheap windows. But now if you look at these manufactured homes, you take a tour of our factories in Arizona and you'll be blown away. 2x6 construction.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like a normal ass house.
Correct.
So they've got manufacturing homes down to a freaking science.
They got it to a science. Yeah, you could customize them however you want. You know, you got the blueprints, and you can change things around, colors, put the best countertops, custom cabinets in there. I mean, they look great.
Well, I have a lot of real estate professionals and flippers and you know, investors listening. If you could talk to them, give them your spiel as to why they should consider doing this as opposed to what they're doing, or in addition to.
It's a faster turnaround time on top of that. It takes them about 60 days to build a home in the factory. So by the time we set it up and everything, we could be up to 6 months, but we can do it under 6 months. When you build a traditional house, it could take a year, up to 2 years to build a house. So half the time to do a manufactured home, and you know what your costs are going to be. There's not wasted cost on construction materials. You don't have to worry about the theft. Everything's done. The house drive's done. All you got to do is get it set up, and it's complete. But for our listeners out there that, you know, want to get into the manufactured home business, we've been selling manufactured homes for a long time. So we got it down to a science, and we're looking to become the largest manufactured home dealer in the country.
When you say dealer, how many different manufactured home brands are there?
Manufactured home brands across the country, there's, you know, probably 20, 30 of them, but they're being consolidated by the large companies like Clayton Homes, Kafka Homes. They're being bought up, especially during COVID. Kafka Homes and Clayton bought a bunch of factories up.
What about those container homes that you see? Because some of those are starting to look sexy, and you're thinking, damn, all they did is put 3 train cars together with a welding torch and came up with something kick-ass looking.
Yeah, those have a lot of regulations. I was at the National Home Builder Show here in Vegas back in March, and there's companies that are boxable here in Vegas. There's a bunch of companies out in from Colorado, California that are building those, but those have a lot of regulations in them.
Why?
They're not HUD standard. Manufactured homes are HUD standard, the Housing Urban Development. So the state of Arizona has HUD standards, so it has to be built up to HUD codes. If it's not built up to HUD codes, you won't get a permit for it. So manufactured homes are built correctly, they're built right, and they're built to last. These boxable homes that are being advertised, you can't get there's no regulations to them.
So everyone knows life has ups and downs. You lost $50K to employees, over $100K to an accountant at 25, got sued after an employee accident. How'd you get ripped off for 6 figures, and what would you do? What would they do?
Well, I own a technology company also. We do low voltage wiring. My son heads that up. We do structured wiring, low voltage wiring. We do security cameras and nurse call systems for hospitals. And back when I started that company, it started off as a cell phone company. So I was young. I started at 19, and I incorporated that company at 21. Hired a trusted accountant, and I would bring her cash to pay payroll taxes. I mean, who does that, right? I mean, I'm 21 years old. I don't know what I'm doing. I bring her cash. The cash is not being reported to the IRS. Years go by, and I get IRS agent knocks on my dad's door and says, "Hey, I'm looking for Eric and Adriana." It's my wife's name. My dad calls me up and goes, "Hey, yeah, the IRS is here looking for you. So you better call this guy." So I called him. And as I was calling him, I was pumping gas in my car, and my card was declined. I didn't have any money in my account. IRS froze up all my accounts. So I had to get some money from my mother-in-law, pump it in the gas in the car, drove home. This is back when cell phones were, analog. Get home, I talked to my wife. I said, "What the heck's going on? Our accounts are frozen." Call up our trusted accountant. She goes, "Oh yeah, let me figure it out. She never figured it out. Finally, we hired a different IRS tax agent that helped us out. And she said, "You guys owe the IRS hundreds of thousands of dollars." She goes, "Where'd the money go?" So we explained to the IRS agent what we were doing, and got out of that mess. We still had a big tax liability we had to pay off, but lessons learned the hard way.
Did the accountant swipe the cash?
She swiped the cash, and she'd take that cash and put it in her husband's business, paying his taxes, paying his quarterly taxes.
Damn.
Yeah, it was rough.
That was a while ago, though.
That was about 20 years ago.
So your family has been in this for 40 years in manufactured homes?
My dad's, he's an immigrant. Him and my mom are immigrants from Mexico. They came over here and they were working on a ranch, and the guy that owned the ranch actually owned a manufactured home dealership and got my dad setting up homes. So I grew up in the business. I was under these trailers when I was a young kid, setting them up.
So how hard is it
to set up a home?
Yeah.
It's not too, it's, I mean, you got to know what you're doing, but you get factory trained, just like anything else, the factory will train you. And then there's, classes that we go to, and it's labor intensive work. I mean, you got to have a good crew that wants to do it. Our crew's the best,
But there's people that listen to the show that are like flippers. They flip houses. They find houses that are run down, buy them cheap, put a little work into them, and turn around and retail them. Why would I do that instead?
Well, you got to find your drywall guys. You got to find your plumbers, right? You got to find your setup crews. And if we don't, we'll find one for you. We'll make one.
So if someone's interested in it, what do you want them to do? Just reach out to you and you set them up a dealership, or what do you do?
Yeah, we can help them set up a dealership, like a franchise style dealership, or we can help them from the ground up and set up crew and all.
Well, how much money will they make?
Well, it depends how hungry they are. I mean, if they want to do investment homes, they can do investment homes. If they want to sell to the public, they can sell to the public. You can sell to the public. You can sell to investors. You could sell pretty much to anybody you want in manufactured homes, as long as the zoning is there.
So I'm trying to think through, because I always get people coming through with all these things they're doing, and I'm thinking, man, would I do that? How would I do it? Like if I had $400,000 in my bank account and I'm like, I want to flip this into $600,000. What would you tell me to do?
I would say, Brad, listen, you're here in Vegas. Let's go check out Pahrump, a growing city, not a lot of regulations like Vegas. There's room to grow there. I'm sure they would welcome manufactured homes there. Let's go look for some land. Let's flip some houses and make some money there.
So I'd go out there, find a piece of land, buy it. Would come get a home from you at the dealership?
Yeah, we'd have to get a dealership set up here. We don't have to get a physical dealership. We can do it. We could do if you're just going to do investment homes, we can do virtual.
Yeah, mine would all be investment.
Yeah, we can. You don't need a dealer. You don't need a dealership here in Vegas per se. We can just order the houses from the factory in Arizona.
Well, what I like about it is the speed. Because I don't want to wait a year and a half to finish a house and then flip it. I want to get 6 months. That's more my style. So throw out the money 6 months later, get my money back.
I got 5 of them I'm working on right now, and they're going to be ready by the spring.
Do they sell easily, or do people have a problem because it's a manufactured home?
The county that we're in, the northern part of Arizona is probably 90% manufactured homes. There's a ton of manufactured homes out there. So the market is slow right now. I was actually on a real estate group mastermind call earlier, and there's a bunch of guys from across the country, and they were talking about how slow it is. So it's not just Arizona and Nevada. The whole country's slow right now. And also it's slow. It's wintertime too. So that's why I'm not worried about the houses selling right now, because I know what comes springtime, they usually fly out the door. But they sell well.
Do you list them differently?
Our agents are good. They do. They list them normal like any house. They do the drone shots. They stage them. It's listed like a normal house.
So what's the downside?
There is no downside. It's a manufactured home. I mean, it's like I said, it's got the bad stigma. But once people walk through it, once they feel it, once they touch it, then they're like, man, this is nice. It's real nice.
And there's no the floors sound hollow or.
No, I have to take you to one of my houses and show you. You'll be blown away.
Well, I saw one once, and the guy said it was a manufactured home. I said, dude, that looks just like a normal ass house. How would you know it's manufactured? He said, you don't.
You don't.
They built a garage. I mean, I couldn't tell it was a manufactured home,
Right.
but he said it was.
Yeah, we ground set them. They're not sitting up real high like the old trailers. They're set low to the ground. They got one step to the door. They look great.
So why don't you get into normal real estate? Why manufactured homes? Because your dad was already in it?
Yeah, we know the business. I'm not a real estate agent. I don't want to get my real estate license. My daughter just got her real estate license, and our 3 agents that are in our office are very well experienced, and they've been selling my homes for the last 14 years, our investment homes.
So how do you plan on becoming the biggest dealer in the country?
I don't know how McDonald's did it, but I'm going to follow their footprint, man. I'm going to become the biggest dealership in the country. I want to have Best Buy Homes be the biggest dealership in the country. I'm going to look for investors. And so anybody out there that's want to get into the manufactured home business, I'll be looking at investors and looking to set up in different parts of the country.
So you're just looking for people that are wanting to get into that business. Do you find them already? You're just finding more?
Well, right now we got Best Buy Homes of Midwest getting set up. So right now it's wintertime in Illinois. So we're doing all the paperwork right now. We just got our business license out there. We got our state license to sell manufactured homes out there. So we're looking to have our dealership going there and come spring of 2026.
So what is being a vice mayor? Like you're like a vice president.
So on the council, most cities and towns have council, and our town has 7 council members. I'm one of the 7 council members that I got voted as vice mayor.
So if the mayor died, are you instantly mayor?
Yes. Or if the mayor's out sick, or I'm the mayor for the day of the town.
What type of decisions do mayors make?
Council or mayors? So the council makes a decision. We can make our own decisions, and we have to vote. We have I live in a small little town. We have a budget of $42 million. So we got to decide roads, infrastructure, sewer, water, things like that. And
does that information feed into your business or no?
A little bit. I kind of try to stay away from the little town I work in and work in different areas. I do it more because I got into politics more for my family, more for our future. Because I see, people are running, we know how the Democrats are. They've never signed a paycheck in their life, right? They've never ran a business. So when you run a business, you can handle a budget of $42 million, right? It's not a big budget. But there's people on the council that don't even know how to balance their checkbook, making decisions for our future. So we've seen that and we don't.
Yeah, but I mean, like sitting on the council, hey, we're going to put a road right over there. Well, if a road's going in there before anyone else does, doesn't that give you the option to go out there and buy property around that road?
Yeah, it does. I know where, we know where the infrastructure is going in, and it's public record also. I mean, everybody has access to it.
I know, but that's where I want to maybe transition into, because I've always thought if I get into real estate, man, I need to get to be friends with the people that know where the shit's going. Because if I'm buying out here and the city's growing this way, well, then I'm on the wrong side.
Right.
But if I knew someone like you and you said, Brad, we're heading that way, well, then I'm going to go 5 miles that way and buy up all the land and just wait.
Yeah, there is that. But like I said, I try to stay away from my town because I really do love what I do, and I both in business and politics. So I try not to do any business dealings in my town. So I kind of go to the
because you might get accused of some insider shit or something.
Yeah, I might get accused. I just want to make the right decisions for our town. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to retire there and live there forever. And my kids are there. They got houses there. We got a lot. We do own a lot of land there in town.
Chino Valley.
Chino Valley. Yeah, it's just a little town.
So can you make a sheriff?
No, we have our own police chief there. We have a police force.
So being an entrepreneur all these years, what are the main lessons that you wish you knew before you started? What would you go back and tell yourself in the beginning?
Oh man, that's a good question. But to read more books. just get, I think you had the book, The Hard Way, right? You're talking about just, people have already made those mistakes, right? So talk to people, get to know people that have been there. I was either working too much or too hard-headed to take advice from people. But
Me too.
It doesn't matter. Just go talk. It doesn't matter if they give you bad advice. If they give you bad advice, just blow it out the door. But just talk. You never know who you're going to meet. When you talk to, when you're in a group of people, you don't know who you're going to meet and what experiences they've been into. So my thing is I talk to as many people as I can now, try to network as much as I can, because if I was networking like I do now when I was 21, I wouldn't have got ripped off for couple $100,000 at the IRS, first of all, but I wouldn't have made all the mistakes I've made, in the last 20 years also. There's always, somebody's been through what you've been through at some point in their lives, right? So you gotta just network and talk to people.
What were the biggest mistakes you've made that you wish you would have been talking to people about?
One, real estate. I wish I would have gotten to, we were in the manufactured home business, but I didn't start flipping homes till about 14 years ago. If I would have started, 20 years ago, we did good. We bought a lot of land. So we're sitting on quite a bit of land, but I could have started a lot younger and a lot faster. That's why I'm getting my kids involved. They're in their 20s. If I would have gotten in real estate in my early 20s, I would have been a lot farther ahead. And then also, you got to know your business numbers. A lot of people don't pay attention to their business numbers, their overhead expenses, the ROI, the cost of doing business. Once you know the cost of doing business, then you're going to be paying attention to every little detail.
If I drove out to Chino Valley, is your family like, oh yeah, we know those guys. We know the Granillos.
Yeah, everybody knows their name.
How many? What's the population?
Chino proper has about 8,000 people. And then the whole Tri-City has about 50,000.
So it's not a lot.
No. But everybody knows it's a small town.
Good schools?
Yeah, great schools. I graduated from there. My son graduated from there. My daughter graduated from there. My youngest is going to graduate, and he's a freshman right now. So
you're like the damn town mayor, basically.
Vice mayor, yep.
Who's the mayor?
Mayor's Tom. Tom Armstrong. He's an older guy.
How come you didn't just run for mayor?
I got thrown in as vice mayor. Actually, I didn't even I just ran for council. I just ran for town council. And I got, the old mayor, a couple of years ago, he asked me, hey, can you be mayor? I said, sure, I'll be mayor. Vice mayor. And he got me in as vice mayor. And then the new mayor now said, hey, will you continue to be vice mayor? I said, sure. So I got 3 years left in the council, and I don't know where my political career will go. Maybe I'll run for governor when I'm older, or maybe I'll just stick with business.
Never mayor?
I don't think I'll run for mayor.
Mayor sounds important.
It sounds important, but I mean, if I run for anything else, it's going to be, if I keep my political career going, it'll probably be senator or governor, something higher up there.
So this manufactured home business, you said, like, if you do it right, it's an asset. If you do it wrong, you bought a trailer that falls apart. What's the difference between doing it right and screwing it up?
Well, there's a lot of choppy installers out there that, there's a lot of bad factories. There's some really cheap factories that make cheap product. They look good, but they're made really crappy. They use bad material, bad products. And then the setup company, the setup and the foundation have everything to do with the manufactured homes. So you got to make sure it's set up properly. And just like when you're building a home, you could tell the difference between a quality built home or some just half-ass home that's built overnight that they slapped up real quick, and there's gaps in the walls, and you can hear the wind going through them, roofs leaking, things like that. So you want to make sure
you have to warranty them.
Yeah, we warranty them. Absolutely.
So you're the dealer, you're the setup, you're everything.
We're one-stop shop.
So you're doing investing with them, you're finding them, putting them somewhere, selling them, and you're helping other people do the same thing.
Yeah, we do work for other investors. They'll buy the homes from us. They'll buy land, they'll buy the home from us, and I just do the work, the construction work of it. And so, but we don't get the flip. We don't flip the home. Obviously, they do because they're putting the project together. We're just doing the setup work, but they're still buying the house from us, and we're doing the work for them. And then there's also just regular customers that come in and buy the houses from us, and we do the work for them also.
So if entrepreneurs are listening going, hey, if I can make some money, I'll do anything. Because, I mean, I wouldn't have ever thought to get in the manufactured home business. But listening to this, if it's like, damn, you're making how much? Shit, maybe I better think about it. What would I need to bring? And what do you, why would I partner with you? Like, what do you bring and what do I bring? Other than the obvious experience and you know, where to get everything and whatnot, like, what's the lure to me?
So right now I got about 2 deals I got that I'm working with partners on. And these partners, we did work from in the past, but what I want them to bring, obviously money, but other than money, I want them to bring patience and understanding that, listen, this is how it goes. This is what we do. I'm in charge, 100% in charge, because I'm bringing everything to the table, from the manufactured home to the setup, to the permitting. I do everything down to where I hand the customer the keys.
Okay. So let's say I got some money. How much you want, and when will I get it back, and how much will I get in return?
So I don't want your money just like that. We need to go and look for land together. If we don't have any land, let's say we're starting from scratch here in Vegas, or let's say we go to Pahrump and look for some land. We want to make sure we're on the same page. We like the land. We order we look at the house models. We're in agreement, 2,000 square foot house, whatever.
But why do we need to be in agreement?
Because I think it's just better business when everybody's in agreement.
I know, but how would I know? Like, I'd be looking at you.
I'm going to be training you. I'm going to be showing you the process on the side. Just so when the next deal comes out, you could either say, hey man, I like what you did last time, repeat it. I don't want to be involved, but I want you to be involved in the beginning so you know where your money's going. If you don't know where you're not going to be blindly handing me, would you? You'd hand me $100,000, $200,000 to get a deal going?
Yeah. That's what investors do. You got people like me that, dude, I'm not interested in the manufacturing home business. I don't know nothing about it. I would rather find someone like you, throw you a couple $100,000, believe you, do a little due diligence and be like, I like this guy. So basically I give Eric a couple $100,000 and 6 months later I get 341 grand back. Now, obviously you're going to get your piece. Well, you did it all. I don't need to learn it. I don't need to do it. I just need to know that when I hand you 200,000, 6 months later, I'm getting 300,000 or whatever the numbers are. That's all I'd need. And I think a lot of investors are like that. They don't want to get in your business, but they would give you the money to make money. Right. Just like flippers. I've loaned a flipper $100,000 before. They took the $100,000, gave me back 120. It was like 3 months.
But you wouldn't want to know where the house is at, where it's located.
Why would I care?
Well, what if it's in North Vegas?
I ain't living in it.
I guess. I mean, I've never thought of it that way, but
yeah, you almost want to start a school. Like, you're looking for people that want to get into the business. And then if you did, and I did it your way, why would I keep giving you a cut of the deals if you taught me everything? Well,
because we still have the construction side of it. I mean, you don't own the dealership. I don't need to.
I just come buy it from you.
But who's going to set it up? You still got to have a setup company take care of all the work.
You taught me what needs to be done. Now I went out and put together a setup crew.
Yeah, I guess you could.
All you're going to do is put me in business, and then eventually, you get my. I guess I'd still order homes from you because I don't really care. But unless, of course, somebody found out where you're getting them from, why I got to go to you if I know where you're getting them from?
We've had that happen. I mean, we've had investors just go straight to the factory, and the factory. During COVID, they gave any jackass a dealership, and there's some jackasses out there that have no idea what they're doing. So they did do that. They did do that, and now they regret it because they're not warranting the homes. They're not taking care of the customer. It's kind of like if somebody had if you had a Chevy dealership and they let some bozo get a Chevy dealership next door and they don't have a service center or anything. They're just selling cars and telling the customer, sorry.
Well, if I'm selling a good product, I mean, but cars don't need to be set up. So,
well, service though, right? If you got
I mean, dude, you can go to the next dealership with service. I don't need to have a service department just to sell you a car.
Yeah, I guess it works different in the manufactured home business.
But if I bought a manufactured home from, XYZ company and then you installed it wrong, so all my problems are from installation, not necessarily the house, and I didn't know any better, I'd probably blame the manufacturer.
And that happens a lot. So that's a good point that there's manufactured homes dealers and there's manufactured home setup crews that are completely separate.
Business owners, listen up. If your business needs more money, and it will, banks aren't built to move quick. They make you fill out a ton of paperwork, wait for a decision, and by that time, the opportunity is passed. So if you want bank rates without bank delays, you need to check out Cardiff. Cardiff's been helping businesses get same-day funding for over 20 years. We're talking up to $500,000 approved and funded quicker and easier than big banks. You can apply online in under 2 minutes and get funded as fast as the same day. So whether you need quick money to bridge a gap or do more marketing, get some equipment, or hire more people, I'm telling you, apply today at cardiff.co/Brad. Stop letting slow money cost you opportunities that move fast. There's no impact on your personal credit. So apply now at cardiff.co/Brad. Subject to approval, terms and rates vary. Cardiff, borrow better.
So they'll sell it to the customer and then the manufactured home dealership will blame the setup company. The setup company will blame the factory. So it's like a blaming triangle and the customer's in the middle and saying, what the fuck? I just want a house. I just want my house to be fixed. I just want somewhere to live in, right? So we work differently. Customer has an issue, they come straight to us, whether it's a setup side, whether it's a manufactured home side, it doesn't matter what it is, we're going to take care of that customer. So, that's another bad stigma that gets about manufactured homes is that customer issue right there. They're stuck in the middle between all these, different factory, dealer, setup company. It's just a blame game.
So investors listening, again, they haven't really heard why they would give you the money rather than go out and do something different. Like, let's say I got $400,000 and I'm like, I don't care if it's a manufactured home or a damn real home, as long as I'm getting my money back.
Right.
So investors, not people that are investing, there's a difference. Mm-hmm. Like you're an investor, but you're not giving anyone your money. You're using your money to go make money, which is an investor. Are you looking for that person? Or are you looking for a guy like me that's got money? I don't need to get in your business. I just need to make some money. So if I knew you and trusted you, I would give you a couple $100,000 and I don't care where in Pahrump you bought it and which model you picked. I'd trust that you know what you're doing. Like, dude, just give me my money back. Like, right. And then I'll give you some more.
Sure.
And then I got friends and we'll all give you money.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you've got massive amounts of money and you just grow your company, but you're not letting me in the game. And quite frankly, there's a lot of investors that don't want in the game. They want money. And you're the one with the skill and the experience. So why would I come and second guess and have to agree? Why would I disagree? No, I want a 3-bedroom home, Eric. I don't think a 2-bedroom home. I mean, I'd say, how much you pay for every $100,000 I give you?
Yeah. I guess that's something we'd have to sit down and talk about, right? I just like to get to know the person I'm dealing with when it comes to investing, and I just wanted you to know who I am, where I come from, and what our goal is together. Whether if you don't want to learn about the house, and you got a good point there. Yeah, let's flip your money, Brad. Let's flip it.
Yeah. So what would you be talking range wise?
As far as an investment, probably 2.5, 250 or so to get something going, and then
so
sell for 300, 320.
What?
Return the sale at 300, 320. So you'd be, if you're partnering up with me, if we're going halves on the deal, we'd split the profit. If you're just investing all the money and you want to buy the house off me, buy the land, have me do all the work, and you get all the profit, then you'd be clearing $50,000, $60,000 on a deal. Easy.
You buy, if I invested with you though, you're buying the house from yourself. Is there a profit there, or do you pass on your dealer cost to me too.
We do 5% over just to cover our staff and ordering and cover a couple of minor details in the office.
5 minor details.
So,
I mean, it's not unheard of, but at the end of the day,
parties and,
it'd be more valuable if I said, because you're a dealer.
Correct.
So you get them cheaper.
We get them cheaper, yes.
Well, that's why I'd invest with you too.
Yes.
Is because like if I give my money to Eric, I get cost on the house. So now let's say it's $5,000 total difference. Well, now I made $2,500 more than if I did it myself. Just right there. Why? Because
but you're not a dealer.
That's my point. So I would rather do it with you because you are a dealer.
Right.
And there's no better deal than a dealer gets.
Correct.
That's what people think anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go to the factory. And quite frankly, if the factory's letting me come to them direct and they'll just sell me a house, well, then what the value is of being a dealer?
No, they don't. They did during COVID. They let a couple people come in and sign up as dealers. They didn't have a lot. Like we have a sales lot. We have a physical lot.
How many units are on your property?
Right now, well, we sold ourselves 4, but we usually carry about 6, 7 units.
And basically, they're there just to see, which model.
They're there so you can touch them, feel them, look at the quality. That's why we have them there.
I wish you were here. I'd go check them out.
Yeah,
only because, affordable housing is going to be needed more and more and more. And if it costs me, 30% more to build a house and takes 200% longer, if I was a real estate guy, I'd be like, damn, dude, this makes it 10 times easier and quicker. So I'm going to start looking at this manufactured option. As long as they sell, it's like, oh no, man, it's a bitch trying to sell a freaking mobile home. But I mean, the ones I looked at, I wouldn't even know it was a manufactured home. So to me, it's a faster, easier, quicker way of doing things. There's got to be an advantage to it. But there's investors right now, they still got to find a house that's beat up or a deal. Then they got to send in a construction crew for, 2-3 months. Then it goes on the market for a month or two and bang, you get your money back in 4 or 5 months. What's the advantage of saying, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to go do manufactured homes because of what?
So that brings me back to my other point that, sitting down and talking to the investors I deal with and looking at the past products that we've done. So you know what you're dealing with, right? So you say, okay, look, there's a history, right? They're not BSing me. They've sold, 25 flips last year. This is how much they sold for. This is the profit on them. This is the areas that we did.
You run comps?
We definitely run comps. Yeah, all the time.
Is it all comps though? I mean, can you stick a manufactured home right in the middle of a regular home suburb?
We have, that's not regulated. Actually, we went to this semi subdivision that was $600,000 houses, and we put $400,000 manufactured homes across the street, and the people were pissed, but they all sold. Sold.
That's what. See, that's the opportunity I'm seeing. Like, I'm in a neighborhood of $600,000 houses. You go in there, you're going to pay $600 for a house, but then Eric sees an opportunity, goes in and buys a piece of land, slaps down a house that's half that, and sells for below $600 because you don't have as much into it. How do you get the comps? Because I'm comping against real homes.
Well, that's the shitty part is for the guy that has a Stigma home, his value is not going to be as much, right? But for the manufactured home, it's going to go through the roof, right? It comped at $400 easy because the house across the street was $600. This house is equivalent to it. It's got the same amenities that the house next door has, plus more, but it's a little more upgraded because this house is a little older. So the manufactured home is newer. It's brand new. We just set it up. It's got the same acreage. It's got a well. It's got, usually they're on septics out there in that area, but everything's brand new on it. So they're comping easy at that price.
And nobody says, yeah, but it's a manufactured home.
We get a lot of customers. A lot of my customers in the last 5-6 years have been from California. They're all migrating to Arizona and Nevada too also. But they look at these houses and they're like, man, this is nice. And they buy them. They buy them. And those are the higher end ones. Those are the 2,000 square foot homes with a custom garage, 2 acres. They're really nice. You know, they're selling for 400, 350 to 400, 450, depending on what we put on them. But then our focus is also down to the $250,000 homes. Where are you going to find a $250,000 home? You can't even build one. You can't build a house for $250,000.
Well, not a decent one.
Not a decent one, but then you got a decent 1,500 square foot manufactured home for $250,000. I mean, that's affordable housing.
You do the financing on them too?
I have a couple homes on the owner carry on the investor, I would say.
Will the banks treat it just like a regular home?
They treat it just like a regular home, yes.
30 years and all that?
Oh, yeah. 30-year FHA, conventional VA.
Because you can take a manufactured home with you if you really wanted to.
Not the way we set them up. We put them on permanent foundation, block stem wall foundation. I mean, it's permanent. It ain't going nowhere.
But that's why it looks the way it looks.
That's why it looks the way it looks. And the bank sees it. They see the engineering on it. And, you know, got to give them an engineer report and they finance it.
Okay. So, because I don't know if you ever answered my question, and I want people listening to hear what kind of return. So if I gave you $250 and didn't bother you and just said in 6 months, how much am I getting back? Let's pretend you already had land and, you know, like
if I had all the product, I had the land, the home and everything, and you just wanted to invest the $250 and be done with it. You could, if you're half the investor, you'd be getting 20 points, 25 points back.
Well, why don't you just do that?
I do that. I have some investors I do that with. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like that would interest me. Like, okay, I'll give you 250 grand, assuming I trust you. I give you 250 grand. I don't even think about you again. And 6 months later, you give me my 250 grand back with an additional 50 grand on top.
So there's investors that we do work for. They get hard money loans to do the project, and they'll borrow $250,000, but they're paying 14 to 18% interest.
That's because they're getting 20. They're just taking the VIG.
But I don't like working with those investors because they're pushy, right? Because they're paying every month. They're paying that note to that hard money investor. So they want their houses done like tomorrow. We try to do as fast as we can, but I don't like the pressure with these. You know, so when a investor comes up to me and say, "Hey, man, I got some money," you know, I ask them first. You know, is it, you know, it's your cash? Can you wait 6 months for your house to be done? And I'll say, no, you know, we need to get it done in 30 to 60 days, because it can be done in 30 to 60 days. But we're doing 80 jobs a year. We're busting out 80 jobs a year. So it's not like we're just concentrated on one house. You know, we got to move from one house to the other because we got to wait for inspections and things to happen. So we can't just focus on one house. If we could, we can have a house done in a week. But, you know, there's inspector delays and there's all kinds of issues that arise, right? So typically it could take us anywhere from 45 to 60 days to really finish a house. So when these investors come up, you know, we don't want to deal with them because we know they're hard money guys that they borrowed from, and we don't need that pressure.
Well, I mean, if the deal's the deal, though. Like if I say to you, give me 250 grand, I'll give you 275,000 back in 6 months. How are you pressuring me the whole time? It's like, dude, I told you 6 months.
No, that's not you, because you have the money. Like you have the money. It's the investors that are borrowing money from hard money guys, right? So they need to pay that note back. And the longer they keep that note, the longer the job takes and the longer the house to sell, they're paying that note to the investor. So whatever, you know, $250,000 at 14% interest is like $3,000 a month, right? So they're paying that note every month to the investor, and they want to hurry up and have us do their house, finish it so they can list it, sell it, and get their money and then pay their investor back. But since you have $250,000 cash, you don't have to worry about, you know, you are your own bank, right? You don't have to pay interest to anybody. So you're just waiting for your return back in 6 months. You're going to be like, all right, Eric's taking care of everything. I don't have to worry about it.
Well, that's the investor, if I were you, I'd be looking for.
That's the investor we're looking for, yeah.
Because there's people out there, they've got money. They just don't know what to do with it. They're not going to go set up houses. They don't understand the game, but their money's sitting in the bank for 6 months anyway. There's people listening to this right now with $500,000 in the bank, and it's been in there for 6 years. Losing money. Essentially. But again, like, because if I'm going to get, into a business where I need money because I want to scale what I'm doing and I only have so much. I would imagine that's you and everybody else, unless you're a trillionaire. I'm going to figure out how I make money. I make money by going over here and doing this and doing that and banging a bang and a bang. And I'm going to estimate, and obviously shit comes up, but hopefully I estimate correctly. You know, Eric, if you give me $250,000, I can go put one of these here and I can be wrapped in it max 6 months. And I'm going to make, 80 grand on 250. So shit, I'll give him half of it. So shit, I'll give you 265 for, whatever. And then you say yes. And if you say yes, that's what I do. Now I hope to get 50 of those going because, I hope to meet 50 of you. But on the other side, now there I am, the type of guy I am. If I knew I could give you 250 and 6 months later, I'm getting back 300, I'm good. Now, if you screw up and the market crashes, you still owe me 300. But if you know you can take that 250, go buy the whatever model you think and pay all the fees and, know for a fact that you could sell it for 400. You only owe me 300 back. I want 50K on my money. Mm-hmm. And then I would do that. And if after I did 2 or 3 of them with you, and it's like, man, this is like clockwork, I'd probably up it and go, all right, let me give you $1 million. Let's do 4 of those. But instead of 50 grand back, now I'm getting 200 grand back. It's still 20%.
Right.
But if you just said right now, Brad, I can give people 20% on their money every 6 months, your phone's going to ring. Why? Well, because 20% is pretty damn good in 6 months.
Yeah.
So could you offer that?
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
I mean, not that we're offering any investments, folks. You got to call him and work it out, but I'm trying to be a listener with some money and think what I'd be thinking. And I'd want you to I want to know this, ask him this, because money seems like there's no shortage of money.
Right.
That's why these hard money lenders will give it to you.
Oh yeah.
They don't care what you're flipping and what you're doing. They want X amount of dollars and they know that, hey, this is what I'm getting return on my money. And now they're just trying to deploy all their money. When they get it back, they deploy all their money, get it back, deploy all their money. That's all they want is a return. They don't want to get into any business. They want to fund people that are in a business, that have found a successful way to consistently produce a, let's say 35% return. Then you're getting 15, I'm getting 20, or eventually you won't need anybody's money because you got so much of it. You're like, I'll give you 15, I'm getting 20. But I don't see anybody saying no to a 20% return rather than leave it in the bank or leave it in their 401k. 20%, 6 months, that's good.
Yeah. Right now I got 2 deals I'm working on with a hard money guy because we did the job. This guy borrowed $500,000 from a hard money investor. He did the work. We did the work. He didn't pay us. And I put a lien on the house. So he didn't pay the hard money guy. So the hard money guy foreclosed on the homes. And then he resold them to me on the note that was owed on the homes, which he gave me a pretty good deal. He gave me 10% down, 7% interest for 7 years on that money. So it's actually pretty decent. But I'm finishing up the homes right now, and I'm gonna turn around. Those are gonna be nice, profitable homes. But on my other homes that I have right now, if the market crashed tomorrow, I can afford to rent them out. So that's the other thing I look at is these houses. Obviously, real estate's up and down, right? We've seen the cycles. We don't know when the next crash is going to be. But I always position myself to be able to afford to purchase the home, whether I have to buy it back from the investor or not. I'll purchase the home and I'll rent it out. I'll put it in my portfolio of rentals. I don't like to do that, but if I had to do that, I would. That's
why do you like to flip it and not keep it?
I have a few rentals, and the rentals are a pain in the ass.
Why?
Tenants. I just had one tenant that had pigs in the yard. They left a snake in there and inside the house, and the rentals are a disaster. They're so hard.
You're managing them.
I'm not managing them. I have a rental management company
then why is it a disaster?
Because I have to send my crew in there to clean it all up and fix it, everything, and then get it back on the market. And then it's out for 4 months while we got to gut it out, go to court with the clients or with the renters. And it's, I'm very picky on who I rent my houses out to.
Well, yeah, you would think that's a property manager problem.
It is, but now she has to go through me too, and I have to vet them also.
Huh. And these are all out in Arizona?
Yeah.
You're nowhere else?
I'm nowhere else, just in Arizona right now.
Why aren't you?
Well, we're in Midwest. We just got our license for the Midwest a couple months ago.
Well, you don't have anything out there.
We don't have anything out there. No, we're right now in the process of purchasing land out there.
After 40 years, you'd think you'd be all over the United States, because eventually, man, you got to keep finding spots. Because in my mind, I can't find a lot right in the middle of a subdivision. Usually they're all built and now it's a subdivision. But sometimes you'll see a lot that didn't sell or something. And I'm thinking, is this a way to slide in there, get that lot, slap up a house immediately? And because that's a process. See, all you got to do is find a process that works almost every time. Where, no, there's not one of those everywhere, but there's a million of them. You just got to find them. So now I, grab somebody and I say, hey, realtors, whoever's looking, when you see a lot in the middle of a subdivision still available, call me. And they call me. Why? Because I got a plan. My plan is I find a lot in the subdivision that didn't sell. Obviously, it's distressed. I get a better deal. Then I call Eric and I have him go out there and slap one of these deals on there. And now I've got a house. Essentially, I'd get rid of the word manufactured home. I got a house, that I'm in $200,000 less than all the houses in the neighborhood. Like, dude, that's a no brainer. But I wouldn't be looking for just land somewhere. Like I'm looking for land and subdivisions that didn't sell.
Well, that you got to be careful, because I had some investors from Oregon just purchase some land the other day, and we were getting ready to take out the permits to do a manufactured home on, and it was zoned for homes only, stick-built homes only. So now they're sitting on, and they don't want to build a house. They have no intention of building a house. And so they're sitting on property now that they can only build a house on. So our realtors...
Do they want to get rid of it?
Yeah, they want to get rid of it, yeah.
Distressed property.
Right, but the problem is where we live is not many people are building homes. The people that are building homes are like $700,000-$800,000. They're building custom homes. Not a lot of people are building, $300,000-$400,000 homes. It's just not,
because they don't sell.
It's not that they don't. Yeah, the money doesn't add up. The profit doesn't add up. It's just too much overhead. Yeah,
I'm trying to find the hole or the opportunity, one of the two, because there's got to be a reason more people aren't doing what you're doing. Like, there's a lot of smart real estate people listening that are going, yeah, he ain't talking about this, and Brad's not smart enough to ask about this, that, and the other thing. But there's got to be a reason. But then on the other hand, there's got to be a reason you are doing it. And if it's just something I've always done, well, maybe that's the reason. But there's always a reason somebody says, I don't do that. Like my buddy Grant Cardone, he buys existing apartment buildings. Mm-hmm. And I said to him once, why don't you build them? Because there's people building them, obviously.
Right.
And he said, nah, I like it to cash flow from day one. Yeah. But then why are people building them? That has to be profitable or no one would be building them. But he's just not interested in that. And it doesn't make sense to me. Like, shit, dude, if you built it, wouldn't it be the cheapest possible price you could get on it?
I don't think so. Not building it from the ground up. I mean, I think Grant's on the right path, right? Buying distressed or...
Well, then how does property go up in value? Because if you can buy it cheaper than you can build it, who would be building them? Why wouldn't you just buy them?
That's same as manufactured homes. I think a lot of realtors get scared off because they don't know where to start at with manufactured homes, right? They don't know the business. It's a relatively new business since COVID started. So it hasn't been in the scene for a long time. Now, if you when we're talking about manufactured homes, it's probably going to come up on your Facebook feeds right now. You're going to see manufactured home this, manufactured home that, TikTok, but it's relatively new. I'm in the space, so I know a lot of people that do this business, but you'd never heard of it. You never heard of the business. So I think a lot of realtors...
I've heard of it. I just never thought about it.
Never thought about it. I mean, you've seen
When I think of manufactured home, I think of trailer parks, right? Where they're all manufactured homes. And by the way, they look like trailer parks.
Sure.
Which I guess, that's affordable, I guess. But recently I'm checking into, man, where can I deploy some money? A buddy of mine just opened up a campground, and he's going to make a killing.
Oh yeah.
He basically just went out and bought X amount of acres cheap. He's going to throw in water and gas and pads, make him a campground, and it's going to cash flow like unbelievable for the investment. I'll just make it up. $240,000 a month. It'll cash flow because there's 360 campgrounds on it. And when he listed it, boom, everybody wants to go camping. And I'm like, see, that's what I'm looking for. Something that's just like, dude, no one's thinking of this. Or a mobile home park. Like, I'll buy one that exists. Why? Well, because it's a business.
Correct.
And now that's my land. Those aren't my mobile homes. Someone can own them, but they're going to rent their little spot from me. All I want is cash flow that makes sense.
That's the best cash flow manufactured home. We just started one in 2021, and we ended up selling it to a big investment company. We ran out of cash to do it. So it's a lot of time. It's real time consuming. My company was the partnership supplying the homes and doing the work. And they gave me a certain percentage of the park, small percentage. But when you own a manufactured home park, I mean, that's cash flow from day one. There's 185 spots in there at $500 a month. You don't own the home. You don't take care of the landscaping. You don't take care of anything. You just rent the spot out. I mean, the clubhouse has amenities, a pool, a jacuzzi, weight room, but at $500 a month, and you have to take care of the clubhouse. I mean, the return on profit is fantastic in a manufactured home park. And it's 55 and over on this one, but most of the nice ones are 55 and over. But I would say I think that's the path you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. Building an apartment complex compared to building a manufactured home park is way different. So you could start a manufactured home park from scratch if you have the capital, right? We didn't have the capital. The partners I got in with, they had the land, the vision, but ultimately they did fine. They did get selling to this big corporation. We're still in there. We're not supplying the home anymore because they're so big. They own 160 parks across the country. We don't supply them the houses. They're a direct dealer now. We still do their work though.
So, is there a subdivision of manufactured homes? Is there ever such a thing as that?
No, usually we, not in Arizona where we're at, but I've seen them in different parts of the country, and those are the ticket. I mean, if you can get zoned to create a subdivision for manufactured homes, find a,
Well, the fucking mayor.
Yeah, but I can't change rules. I can't change planning and zoning.
I see it happen all the time.
Yeah, I don't work that way.
I've seen people here go buy some land, go lobby or do whatever they do to change the zoning, approve zoning change, bang, they build what they were going to build, but they weren't allowed in the beginning, but they lobbied or do whatever they do to get the zoning changed.
I'm not the kind of politician, man.
Oh.
I try to be as straight as I can be. I don't want to be a Democrat.
Yeah, but that's not straight. That's not crooked. That's, you play by the rules. Like, oh, you're not zoned for that. Well, how do I get zoned for that? You got to go apply and talk to the city council. And I thought, these council meetings are a bunch of you guys sitting up there determining whether or not to change zones.
There is, but it's got to go through planning and zoning first. It's got to go through it's got to go through the citizens first, and then it's got to go through the planning and zoning committee, and then it gets up to the council, and we final it after that. So there's steps to the process. It just doesn't happen overnight, or it just doesn't happen with the mayor signing a pen. The mayor, you could be the mayor, and you can't just sign something and say, "Here's your zoning." There's steps to it.
So with all the ideas I threw out there, I don't want to make sure people are confused with what you are looking for and willing to do. So you want people that want to get in the business? Yeah.
Yes. And if they're interested in the manufactured home business, yes, I'd like to talk to investors and want to get into the business.
Do you want to talk to the type of people that'll just throw you some money with an expected return within 6 months?
Yes.
And then who else? Salespeople?
No, we got great sales agents. We We got fantastic sales agents. I mean, if they want to open up a dealership in different parts of the country, you know, I wouldn't say franchise, but we want to make I guess there's no other better word, but like a franchise model, so we can bring all the knowledge, like we're doing in Best Buy Homes of Midwest in Illinois.
Is that your brand?
Best Buy Homes is our brand.
If I bought one and you set one up from me, would I know that as a Best Buy home, or would I know that as a whatever the manufacturer is called?
So let's say the manufacturer is Clayton Homes. We try to package it up as a Best Buy home dealer. We try to make that we try to say, hey, you're getting a Best Buy home, right? And they know it's a Clayton model, but we want to make it a Best Buy home package.
Do you ever have any ambition to become the manufacturer, or no?
Not yet, but my agent that's in our office, she's the lady that runs our office, Desiree. She said, hey, let's just make the fucking houses ourselves. You know, this is back during COVID when it would take a year to get a house built. Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's how naturally, like, most entrepreneurs end up, you know, billionaires. Like, they started out and then they said, why are we doing this? And it just evolved. And like manufactured home, the one I saw looked like a home, but like, let me just design the home. I could come up with a way better design than any of them I've seen. So if I'm running around and I can't find this manufacturer that's making this kick-ass looking house, well, why don't I just go build one myself and I become a manufacturer and everybody wants mine because it looks kick-ass. Travel trailers, for example. You always go see these trailers, right? These fifth wheels, these coaches, are not coaches, but like, you know, trailers.
Yeah.
You haul them.
RVs.
Yeah. So you ever see any of them made in glass?
No.
Why not? Like, dude, wouldn't
it break on the road?
What's that?
It'll break on the road?
No, not like real glass, but like, in other words, figure out a way to build these son of a bitches that look like pretty much all glass. Not literal glass.
Yeah.
But when you set it up and you wake up in the morning, you're looking around and you're basically outside, but you're not. You're inside a trailer. Like, dude, that would be bitching.
Yeah.
Like, throw it in an AI thing and you know, tell them AI to build what I'm talking about just for a demo. And dude, everybody would want one of those. I don't want to wake up inside a trailer. I want to wake up outside, but being inside.
I seen a concept like that. I saw a, I don't know if it was like a Tesla one or something that showed an open concept. So when you're looking up and you're sleeping, you can see the stars.
Stars, exactly. Right? And you look over and there's the river, and then you look outside and there's the campfire, but you're in this little freaking trailer. Because I'd buy one of those. I'd want to go camping now. I don't want to go camping in some of these, you know, little $40,000 trailers, because they're you go in there and there's a little, you know, window at the kitchen, and, you know, there's a slide out with a little window in it. But, you know, come on, like, who's designing these things?
Right.
I would rather just build a damn glass or just basically a metal frame with solid plexiglass, where literally it's almost like people are like, well, what if they're looking in? Dude, you got to figure that shit out. You know, curtains, I don't know. But I know that if I had a piece of land somewhere and I could slap a cool looking one of those on there, I don't need a house. I'm only going to be up there so many times a year. I just need a kick-ass little spot. That's what I was thinking when the guy was telling me about the campgrounds. And then you look at trailer parks and you're like, wait a minute, what if we could create a campground with rentable trailers on it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to, you just show up, dude. The 40-foot, you know, Wagoneer's there.
Yeah. That's how Arizona's got a few of those, and they're making so much money, like your buddy. But
see, that's what I'm talking about.
They're making a killing.
And once you have the model down, Eric, investors are everywhere. This episode's going to reach people right now that have $2 million sitting in an account, and they listen to the show just for shits and giggles, and, you know, tips and tricks and, you know, things that they might consider, for sure. But they may not call you because I'm not really sold on that. But if you were saying, hey, if anybody out there is interested, get a hold of me. And by the way, if anyone does actually get a hold of them, you know, do your due diligence. I am not, you know, promoting or recommending the fact that you do it. All I'm saying is here's an opportunity. This dude's out there making money. You're making money. You've been doing it 40 years. There's opportunity.
Right.
And there's people listening, looking for opportunity. So I'm connecting the two. But if the microphones were off and me and you kept talking and you were like, well, what are you looking for? I'm looking for something like what you just said. Those guys are crushing it. Why? Because, dude, money's everywhere if you know how to crush it. Like right now, I'd raise $100 million, and I know people that would give it to me if I could go triple it.
Right.
But I don't. You know, I get you guys coming through here and talking about all these badass things people are doing, and it makes me want to do it. But somebody needs a plan. Like, hey, you go in and you do this, and then we go over here and we do that, and then we put it up for sale, and bang, we make 3 times our money, as opposed to doing this, where you're only making a third of the money. That's a viable plan, at least for now. That's a viable plan. Let's get some investors and crank this thing up, and you just make the difference because you know what you're doing.
Right. And Brad, that's what I was talking about is the due diligence, right? That's why I want to kind of sit down with them. And that's why I would show them, hey, they say, fuck, I don't want to know about the house. I don't care if it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I try to do my due diligence part, right? And say, hey, look, this is what we're looking to do. If they say, I don't care, here's the money, then we can do the job for them. But I like when people do their due diligence. I like when people...
You ever see those homes that you can buy from like Lowe's and Home Depot now?
Yeah, like I think Amazon's coming out with them too. Just like Sears catalog used to have them back in the 50s, 40s.
They're like 50 grand,
Yeah.
and they'll just drop it wherever you want it, and all you got to do is hook it up, and you're in business.
Yeah,
affordable housing. All I know is affordable housing is going to be needed.
the problem with that though is when the big windstorm or hailstorm comes in, is your house going to be up? It's going to stay up, right? I mean, how reliable
Insurance.
is that? Well, insurance. The cost of insurance is through
parks,
the roof.
Trailer parks, the same thing. Don't build in Tornado Alley.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you got to tie them down properly. I mean, these houses got to have some major tie downs. I've seen some really cool concepts. Vegas has a cool building show every March, and man, they got some cool stuff. Some of it's concept, but they got some really cool product that's coming out.
So if people want a manufactured home, you can deliver anywhere, or should they call?
Yeah, have them call, and we'll get them set up.
And you're out of what, Arizona?
Arizona.
And you can deliver anywhere. So if someone's listening in North Carolina,
Correct. Oh, we're licensed in about 4 states right now.
you got to be licensed to sell?
You got to be licensed to sell them. Yes. We just got licensed in our newest licenses in Best Buy Home in Illinois.
Right on. So you give killer deals, or like, if I'm a car dealership, well, I got the best deals in town. Are you one of those?
I got the best deals. Yeah. But I don't want to be I don't want to be like a car salesman. That's good.
But I mean, are they negotiable?
Oh yeah, they're negotiable. Yeah, absolutely.
So
but we just get them straight to the point. Here's your best deal. Go try to beat it somewhere else.
So you just
There's no negotiating.
You give one price.
One price. Here you go.
And if they don't like it, too bad.
If they don't like it, they won't find a better price, but they'll buy from us.
Now, see, that'll get me to call you. See, folks, there you go. If you're into buying one, he just said you ain't going to get a better price. If you're into investing, where should they reach out to you?
Granillo 100 Instagram at Granillo 100.
EGRANILLO 100.
Yep.
Hit him up in the DMs. Anything else? How else can the Bomb Squad help you?
That's about it, man. I enjoy the dropping bombs, and you've had some fantastic guys on here, and it's hard to live up to these guys that you've had, and there's some good knowledge on the show.
Well, that's what it's about, man. Just, there's people that are going to probably, maybe they're not as big as you yet, but they want to be.
I'm not that big, so.
Well, they're going to want to grow with you. Your ambition is to be the biggest in the country.
I'd love to grow with people. That's my thing. I like to bring people up with me. I like to grow by myself.
And Granillo is what?
We're Hispanic. My parents are from Mexico, Sonora, Mexico. So I'm first generation U.S. citizen.
And earlier you're saying you want to make your dad proud, become the biggest dealer in the country. Who is right now the biggest dealer in the country?
I don't know who the biggest. I haven't done my research yet, but there's some pretty large dealers out there. But
where you go out to their dealership and there's like 100 models. I mean, how many models are there?
No, most dealerships have, I mean, they're scarce. They carry 4 to 5 on their lots.
How do they show up?
They transport them in. They just they hook up to a truck just like an RV, haul them right in, 2 pieces. 2 trucks come in and they put them up, and then we set them up at our dealership so people can walk through them.
You have to seal them and shit.
Yeah, we seal them at our dealership, and then when they sell, break them down, transport them to the job site, set them back up.
And there's no way a normal person would even know the difference.
No. Yeah, if you ever want to come down to Arizona and check them out, be glad to have you there. Show you our dealership. You can walk around. Like I said, I'd rather have you do your due diligence, walk around, feel them, touch them, know that we're the real deal, meet our sales staff, come to our office. And, before you just say, here's $250,000, I'd like to know who you're dealing with.
E. Granillo, folks. E. Granillo 100. Till next time, keep it real.